E-commerce brands get the main elements of a winning Google ad strategy so wrong. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the real main elements of a true winning Google ad strategy. The same strategy we're using to scale brands like these at an 11x ROAS to $160,000, $170,000 revenue level, or brands like these where we're scaling at a 9x ROAS to $1.4, $1.5 million a month in revenue. Now, what you want to understand is unlike Facebook ads, unlike TikTok ads, Google ads is a little bit different. First of all, it's a search-based platform where users come to you, but because of this, the Google ads algorithm itself actually expects a few things from your brand, and these few things directly help your e-commerce brand win more auctions within the Google ads funnel, and as a result get more and more sales. But these few things, there's only three. First one is relevant information. Google's algorithm absolutely loves brands which provided relevant information. Number two, high quality data points. So if your e-commerce brand is providing not only high quality service but relevant information, it's going to directly lead to a lot of high quality data within your ad account. And third, with all of this happening, a good customer experience is what takes things to the very next level. But keep in mind one thing: for these three things, it doesn't matter whether you're running performance max campaigns or standard shopping campaigns, these three things are still the core foundations of a true Google ad strategy. But now this brings us to the actual main elements of what truly makes a Google ad strategy a winning strategy. First element is high perceived value. Second one, easy to connect to. Third one, created for the algorithm and for the user. Fourth one, opposite from competitors. And then fifth and final one, easy to understand. We're going to go over each one of these and look at an example to show you exactly what this actually means. First one, high perceived value. Now, a real winning Google ad strategy involves very high perceived value, because just by looking at the ad, a user should be able to feel something. They should be able to trust your brand. They should be able to connect the pricing, whatever your pricing is of your product, and think that this pricing makes sense for your product. A perfect example of this is the 16-ounce plastic bottle. It's my go-to example because this approach that this brand used is so amazing. Now, just by looking at this, you can see directly that the perceived value of this brand, of this product itself, is very high. And that's simply because of the layout that they have used within their product images, the way they have created their product title so that it's separated by these lines, the use of reviews and the right way of using those reviews, having things such as certain product feed information. All of these things help this brand ooze a lot of high perceived value. This brand doesn't need to state in the product titles that it's a premium brand or it's a luxurious brand. You can almost feel the premium level of this brand and the luxuriousness of the simple plastic bottle just through the way they have laid things out. So perceived value is the first winning element, and this starts with just the way you lay out your ads. This is why I always say you need to be doing the opposite of competitors, which is one of the winning elements of a good Google ad strategy, which we'll get into shortly as well. But the second element of a good Google ad strategy is easy to connect to. So if a user is searching for a 16-ounce plastic bottle, it should not showcase a product where you're not able to really connect with that ad itself. And what that means is, for example, maybe showing a bottle that's not a plastic, maybe showing a container instead of an actual bottle, maybe showing something that's 20 ounces instead of 16 ounces because a user typed here 16 ounces, so they're looking for a 16-ounce bottle. When a member of the audience is not able to easily connect with your ad, that's when problems start to arise. But before we move on to the third element, if you run an e-commerce brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue and you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level, go on our website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see essentially how we can work together and make that happen. But the third winning element is created for the algorithm and for the user. Now, what I'm referring to here is the product title itself. Most e-commerce brands, what they do is they write a product title that's written for the algorithm. algorithm. So what they'll do is they'll do keyword research, and then they'll put a bunch of keywords into their product titles because that's what the algorithm wants, and they think that is the only thing the algorithm wants. However, this is a big misconception, because if you look right here, not only has this brand written for the algorithm, but by adding things in a very sophisticated manner, by making sure that there's lines between these pieces of text to kind of separate things out, make it easy to read, they've also ended up writing for the user as well. And this is one of the most important elements of a winning Google Ads strategy, because not only do you need to show perceived value through your product images and what you do in the back end, but your product title itself, it needs to be so professional that a user wants to do business with you. They think of you as a real brand and a real business. So this means adding things that further increase perceived value, such as adding words like premium, affordable, heavy duty, luxurious. This takes care of the perceived value side of things. But in addition to that, spacing everything out properly, making sure spelling is correct, including certain numbers or certain specifications which are related to your product. These are all things which make it easy for the user to understand your ad, and that's when your ad becomes a potential winning ad for a good Google Ad strategy. But this brings us to the next one, the next winning element, which is opposite of competitors. I mean, this example again is perfect here, because if you look at what their competitors are doing, they're all on a plain white background image. They all have very simple, very straightforward product titles. All of their product pricing, it's as low as possible. They're trying to beat each other by bidding on the cents. This is not an ideal strategy, because this just ends up starting price wars. You don't want to be starting price wars with your competitors. You want to be doing the opposite of them. And again, this brand did it perfectly right here by just having this product image, by just the way they laid out their product titles, reviews. They were able to stand out from the competitors, and they literally did the opposite. They saw everybody had white background images. They came in with the lifestyle image. They saw nobody had lines within their product titles, and perceived value was low. So that's what they did here. They added the perceived value. So that's literally all you need to be doing to really create the winning elements of a good Google Ad strategy. Just look at your competitors and literally do the opposite. But now this brings us to the final element of a good Google Ad strategy: easy to understand. If you look at this ad right here, it's not difficult to know what this is. It's a plastic bottle. Sure, there's orange juice inside, but it's still a plastic bottle. You don't have to guess. You don't have to look deep into the ad to understand what it is. Because if you do things like this, where there's 4 bottles coming up here, but then you're providing a case of 189, or it's just very difficult to understand what your product is, you already lose the potential click that could be going on to your brand. So just take the simplest route, because simple usually is the best route for a good Google Ad strategy. And if you're already combining all of those other 4 elements that we mentioned earlier, then taking the simplest route should not put you behind the competition. Rather, it should make your ad pop out in the realm of plain simple ads. But again, if you run a brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level. Go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see essentially how we can work together and make that happen. But check out this case study I did here of a brand which we blew up using similar elements like this within their ad account.